been a couple of years since I've done one of these videos, so I thought I'd give it a try here since Nightmares of the Bible, the subject of one of my last videos, came out 2 years ago, and I realized I hadn't really done anything about it, and it's been sailing along like the Titanic, so I thought maybe it was time to update you on my latest book. Now, it may be not a bestseller by any stretch, but there are 4 interviews out there about it. Most of them you can find most of them on YouTube or in various podcasts. And if you have any curiosity about that, you can take a look at my blog, which is linked in the description below, and find the links to those particular sources. And by the way, I'm wearing my cassock again. I haven't worn this for a few years. As a matter of fact, something strange happened when I put it on just now. I noticed that it was crinkling. Cassocks actually have pockets in them. Many of them do, because clergy and other people who wear cassocks often need to keep things with them. And I discovered that the crinkling was caused by a couple of melted cough drops. I think I must have put those in the pocket. But the interesting thing that happened was I discovered this, and I don't even know that I had this. It's a rosary. It's got some kind of crystal beads on it, and this medallion and a crucifix, and I didn't even know I had those. I don't remember ever putting them in the pocket. And here's a dirty little secret. I got this cassock used from a student when I was still teaching, and if you're watching this, my student, I won't name you on the video, I have your crucifix. It's a little bit sticky from all the melted cough drops that were in the pocket. But anyway, back to Nightmares of the Bible. Now, the interesting thing about this book is that there are a couple of reviews have come out, and of course, reviews, as usual, miss the point. And so what is the point of this book? Well, it's really a study about demons, and I started the book as a history of demons because there weren't many histories of demons out there for the average reader. I know this is priced like you're maybe not the average reader because it's very expensive. I'm sorry about that. But the idea was to get this out there so that people could understand what demons were, written in non-technical language by somebody who has a degree in ancient studies, which I do. So that was the idea behind it. But then the more I looked at it, the more I thought, okay, let's also add in there how people think of demons today, because the interesting thing about demons, and probably something is true if you're if in a Western culture and you think about demons like most Westerners do, is that your influence and understanding what demons are probably comes from The Exorcist, the movie The Exorcist. And that's because demons had sort of fallen out of Western consciousness for quite a few years until William Peter Blatty's novel came out, and then the movie followed it very shortly, and people all of a sudden realized that, hey, this is going to really be something scary and real. But as people started to think that, and since the movie, requests for exorcisms have just skyrocketed, so the Catholic Church is having a hard time keeping up with it. So if you're one of those people who maybe thought of demons at all before that, you probably thought of them as very differently than people think of them now because of The Exorcist. And so the book takes the view that our understanding of demons in the modern world is based on the movie and the subsequent movies that have been made about demon possession or demonic possession. And so the book goes through and looks at several different movies and how they have built on this idea of demonic possession. Looks at The Exorcist as the kind of the last movie, because there were movies that sprung directly off of that. But it also looks at other movies, some of them that take a lighthearted look at demons, but mostly a series of movies like The Conjuring. The whole Conjuring set of movies is based on demonic possession of some sort or another. It looks at the Paranormal Activity movies because they also are based on demonic possession, and the Amityville Horror series of movies, clearly also based on possession, and as well as a few other movies that you might find interesting and diverting. So if you like horror movies, or even if you're just interested in where demons come from, this book will be an introduction to that for you. It's written in non-technical language. It was intended to be read by the average person, but the reality is and I know this because I work in publishing, is that if you send a book to an academic publisher, they're going to price it generally for a library market, which means $100 or more. And if it sells well enough, then they'll maybe make it available so that mere mortals like the two of us, or how many of you are watching this, and us, and me, split personality there, might be able to afford them. So the good news is that I've waited long enough to post this video that I believe, if I understand correctly from my editor, that a paperback edition is in the discussion phases for Nightmares with the Bible. And so hopefully that will be something that we can all look forward to in the future days, when it will be less expensive. Being an academic book or academic publisher, it's probably never going to be cheap. So I hope you've enjoyed this little introduction to Nightmares with the Bible. There's a lot more I could say about it, obviously. If you ask any author about a book, you're kind of like putting new batteries in the Energizer Bunny. They can just keep on going and going and going. Energizer is not a sponsor. I have no sponsors. So this book is intended to be enjoyable, and maybe if you could check it out at a library or find an ebook copy, it might be a little less expensive. And I'm welcome your comments. If you like these kinds of videos, feel free to click the like button below or subscribe to the channel. I won't burden you with a lot of stuff. I only come out with a video once every few months or years, as the case may be. But if you're curious about these sorts of things, I will be doing a follow-up video for my next book, which is due out next year. So thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this little walk through the shadowy realm of demons.